in a corner of the web.
Once upon a time, in a kingdom far away, there was a small village named Greenwood. Greenwood was surrounded by thick woods and lush meadows. But the most mysterious place was the Enchanted Forest. People said the forest was magical and only allowed entry to those with pure hearts. Many tried to enter, but few succeeded. Those who did told stories of talking animals, glowing flowers, and trees that whispered secrets. In this village lived two young people, Alice and Tom. They were the same age and had known each other since they were children. But they were not friends. In fact, they were rivals. Alice was the daughter of the village healer. She had dark hair and bright green eyes and was known for her kindness and wisdom. She helped her mother gather herbs and make potions, and the villagers trusted her. Tom, on the other hand, was the son of the village blacksmith. He had sandy blonde hair and deep blue eyes and was known for his strength and bravery. He helped his father forge weapons and tools, and the villagers admired him. Despite their good qualities, Alice and Tom often competed with each other. They argued about who was better at helping the village and who was more important. One day, a terrible sickness spread through Greenwood. The villagers fell ill one by one, and even Alice's mother and Tom's father were not spared. The village healer, weak from the illness, called Alice to her bedside. "Alice," she said in a frail voice, "there's only one cure for this sickness. It is the flower of the golden orchid, which grows deep in the Enchanted Forest. You must find it and bring it back." Alice's heart sank. The Enchanted Forest was dangerous, and no one had gone that deep before. But she nodded bravely. "I will go, mother. I'll find the flower and save the village." At the same time, Tom's father called him over. "Tom, you must find the golden orchid in the Enchanted Forest. It is the only cure for this sickness. You are strong and you are brave. I know you can do it." Tom's eyes filled with determination. "I will do it, father. I'll bring back the cure and save everyone." Both Alice and Tom set off for the Enchanted Forest, each unaware that the other was on the same mission. They walked through the village, saying goodbye to their families and friends, and headed towards the forest edge. As they approached the forest, they saw each other. "What are you doing here?" Tom asked, surprised. "I'm going to find the golden orchid," replied Alice. "It is the only cure for the sickness." Tom frowned. "That's what I'm here for too. But you know you cannot go alone. It is too dangerous." "I can take care of myself," Alice said firmly. "Besides, you are not my guardian." Tom sighed. "Okay. We both want the same thing. Maybe we should work together." Alice hesitated. She didn't like the idea of working with Tom, but she knew he was right. The forest was dangerous, and they had a better chance of success if they worked together. "All right," she said finally. "We will go together." They stepped into the Enchanted Forest, and the world around them changed. The trees were tall and ancient, their branches forming a thick canopy overhead. Sunlight filtered through the leaves, creating a magical glow. The air was filled with the scent of flowers and the sound of birds singing. As they walked deeper into the forest, they encountered many wonders. They saw flowers that glowed in the dark, streams that sparkled like diamonds, and animals that spoke in gentle voices. But they also faced many challenges. They had to cross a river guarded by a talking bear, climb a mountain where eagles nested, and solve riddles posed by mischievous elves. Despite their differences, Alice and Tom worked well together. Alice's knowledge of plants and healing helped them find food and medicine along the way, while Tom's strength and bravery helped them overcome physical obstacles. They began to see each other in a new light, and their rivalry started to fade. One evening, as they were setting up camp, Alice looked at Tom and smiled. "You know, you are not so bad after all," she said. Tom grinned. "You are not so bad yourself. I'm glad we are doing this together." They sat by the fire, sharing stories and laughing. For the first time, they felt like friends. As the night grew darker, they lay down to sleep, feeling a sense of peace and hope. The next day, they continued their journey. They climbed higher into the mountains, following the directions they had gathered from the forest inhabitants. They knew they were getting closer to the golden orchid. But the challenges became harder. They had to cross a deep chasm on a rickety bridge, navigate through a maze of thorny bushes, and avoid traps set by cunning foxes. Finally, they reached a clearing. In the center stood a golden orchid, its petals glowing with a soft golden light. It was the most beautiful flower they had ever seen. But as they approached, a serpent, a giant serpent, emerged from the shadows, hissing and baring its fangs. "Who dares to take the golden orchid?" the serpent demanded. Alice and Tom stood side by side, determined but cautious. "We need the flower to save our village," Alice explained. "Please, let us take it." The serpent's eyes glinted. "The golden orchid is precious and powerful. Only those with pure hearts can take it. Prove your worth and you may have it." Tom stepped forward. "We will prove it. What must we do?" The serpent coiled around the flower, watching them closely. "You must face your greatest fears and show true bravery and kindness. Only then will the flower be yours." Alice and Tom looked at each other. They knew this would be their hardest challenge yet, but they were ready. The serpent's eyes glowed, and suddenly they were transported to a dark, shadowy place. Alice found herself in a deep, dark cave. The air was cold, and the walls were damp. She shivered and took a step forward. Her heart pounded as she saw spiders crawling on the walls and bats flying overhead. She had always been afraid of the dark and small creatures. "Be brave," she whispered to herself. "I must do this for my mother and for the village." As she walked deeper into the cave, she heard a faint cry. She followed the sound and found a small, frightened bird trapped under a rock. It was injured and unable to move. Alice's fear vanished as she gently lifted the rock and freed the bird. "Don't be afraid," she said softly. "I will help you." She tore a piece of her dress and carefully bandaged the bird's wing. The bird chirped gratefully, and Alice felt a warmth in her heart. She knew she had shown kindness and bravery. Meanwhile, Tom found himself in a dense forest, surrounded by tall, shadowy trees. The air was thick and the path was unclear. He took a deep breath and walked forward, his heart heavy with memories of his childhood fear of getting lost. "Stay strong," he muttered, I must find a way for my father and for the village. As he pushed through the undergrowth, he heard a voice calling for help. He followed the sound and found a young deer caught in a hunter's trap. The deer's eyes were wide with fear and it struggled to free itself. Tom's fear vanished as he approached the deer. "Hold still," he said gently. "I will get you out." With careful hands, he pried the trap open and freed the deer. The deer nuzzled his hand in gratitude, and Tom felt a warmth in his heart. He knew he had shown kindness and bravery. Suddenly, Alice and Tom were back in the clearing, standing before the serpent. The serpent's eyes glowed with approval. "You have proven your worth," the serpent said. "Your hearts are pure, and your bravery and kindness are true. The golden orchid is yours." The serpent uncoiled from the flower and disappeared into the shadows. Alice and Tom approached the golden orchid, their hearts filled with joy and relief. They carefully picked the flower and held it between them. "We did it," Alice said, her eyes shining with happiness. "We have the cure." Tom nodded, his face glowing with pride. "We did it together." They started their journey back to Greenwood, feeling closer than ever. As they walked, they talked about their fears and how they had overcome them. They realized that their rivalry had been foolish and that they were stronger together. When they finally reached Greenwood, the villagers were overjoyed to see them. Alice and Tom quickly prepared a potion from the golden orchid and gave it to the sick. Slowly, the villagers began to recover, their strength returning. Alice's mother and Tom's father were the first to get better. They hugged their children tightly, tears of gratitude in their eyes. "You did it," Alice's mother said, her voice filled with pride. "You saved us all." Tom's father nodded. "We are proud of you both. You showed true bravery and kindness." The villagers gathered around Alice and Tom, cheering and celebrating their return. They told the story of their journey, and the villagers listened in awe. The tale of their bravery and teamwork spread throughout the kingdom, and people marveled at their courage. As the village celebrated, Alice and Tom stood together, feeling a deep sense of accomplishment and happiness. They had not only saved their village, but they had also discovered the true meaning of friendship and love. Over time, the rivalry between their families faded, and Alice and Tom became closer than ever. They continued to work together to help the village, combining Alice's knowledge of healing with Tom's strength and resourcefulness. Their bond grew stronger each day, and the villagers often remarked on how well they complemented each other. Years passed, and Greenwood prospered. The village healer and the blacksmith often shared meals with each other's families, and the once fierce rivalry was replaced by a warm friendship. Alice and Tom were happy to see the positive changes in their village, knowing that they had played a crucial role in bringing about this harmony.
In a corner of the web where stories weave and bind, there's a place called Smiles, a treasure.
Thank you so
will
much for
find.
watching. Please like,
With
comment,
whispers of
subscribe.
forests,
Do well to turn on your
where
notification
myths and
button
tales
for more
reside,
exciting stories.
entertain and educate, where history's rivers glide. In the heart of every video, a tale begins to spin, from legends of the ancients to fairies' secret kin, through fields of golden knowledge, where learning meets the fun. A journey hand in hand beneath the timeless sun. Jubal Smiles, where stories take flight in fields of dreams from morning to night. Tales that teach and stories that play in the world of Jubal. Let your mind stray. Sailing through the epochs on ships made out of words, adventures bold and subtle, yet silent as the birds. From castles high on mountains to deep beneath the sea, Jubal smiles is calling, come, join the reverie. Oh, the tales unspoken and the lessons yet to learn. In each story, a spark of light, in every twist and turn. Seeds of wisdom sown in stories brief or long. In Jubal's land of wonder, you'll find where you belong. Oh, the come and be a wanderer in this vibrant, lively realm, where every clicking view takes you to another helm. A universe of storytelling, entertainment at its core. The Jubal smiles forever, the magic we explore. So come and be a wanderer in this vibrant, lovely realm, where every click and view takes you to another helm. A universe of storytelling, entertainment at its core. The Jubal smiles forever, the magic we explore. In everything.